Hello, welcome to yoga class. I'm gonna get my timer going. It's Friday, congratulations, you made it through the week. And I hope it was a good one. We had lots of sunshine and I love that. So if you are watching this later, my name is Caitlin. I think whoever is on here right now knows me already. And we are going to jump right in so we can maximize our time today. So I'll have you come and sit in a cross-legged position of your choice, or if it's more comfortable to lay down on the back on the mat, or on your back on the mat, that's fine too. If you do take a reclined position, let's keep our knees up towards the sky so we're not coming into a full relaxation posture. Otherwise, we will sit up nice and tall. Of course, you can always bring a blanket or a block or a stack of books or a pillow underneath the hips. And we start to tap into the breath. So inhaling into the nose, down into the belly, starting to bring an awareness to the sensations in the body. Starting to relax, letting the shoulders drop away from the ears on the exhale. Maybe you start to make your exhales longer than your inhales. Really sending a communication to the muscles, the nervous system, that we are going to slip into a new space, a space different than the one that we were coming from, our workspace, our home space. Switching our hat. So today we are going to work on mostly focusing on our lower body. And I wanted to continue a conversation that I had started on Wednesday about the root chakra, the Muladhara, which sits right at the base of the spine, underneath the pelvis. And if you are not familiar with energy systems or are not interested in learning about them, that is okay. Just know that today we're going to get great opening and activation in the hips, the low back, the groin, the legs, all the good things, which is such a connecting piece to the upper and lower body. So, but if you are familiar or would like to be familiar with the energy systems, the chakras in particular, our root chakra is the first of the 7 main chakras, and it is all about building a firm foundation. So similar to the roots of a plant, they must be deep and strong for the rest of the plant to grow successfully and healthy. And so you can think of the root chakra in the same way. It's all about self-preservation, security, stability, physical courage. And when it's out of balance, underactive, overactive, or blocked, it can begin to affect our life. And so we will have some conversations around that today. Come back to your breath if you've lost it. Let's stay for 3 more breath cycles. Really lengthening your exhales, fully emptying the lungs. Excellent. And after your next exhale ends, we will meet each other on our backs. So that's where we're going to start today, really activating and opening up the hips right away. So when you get there, we'll pull the knees up to the chest just so that we can settle into this reclined position. We start to play around with the belly, the ribs, seeing how it feels to make the belly nice and heavy, the ribs nice and soft. Maybe you can start to feel that concave effect right at the diaphragm. And we will, after our next exhale, lower the soles of the feet to the ground. We're going to immediately tap into the groin. So soles of the feet kiss together, knees come open wide to our reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. When you get there, set yourself up for success. So we snuggle the shoulder blades right underneath the heart space. Shoulders are pinned down to the mat. Chin is tucked slightly towards the chin to keep length in the back of the neck. We're scooping the tailbone up towards the ceiling so that the low back is coming flush with the mat. And we're not pressing or pulling down with the knees. We're just letting gravity work for us. So since we haven't really warmed up yet, if you're feeling some pulling and pressure in the groin here, it's okay to back off a little bit, maybe elevate the knees or bring some supports underneath the outsides of the thighs. Hands come to rest right on the floor next to the hips and outsides of the thighs. Hands can be either facing up, or since we are focusing on the reach and it's all about grounding, maybe we flip the palms down towards the ground. Even in this position, we're breathing down into the belly, waking up the body. Hands are going to stay right where they are at. And on your next inhale, we're going to rock the tail. So right now we've got the tail scooped up towards the ceiling. We're going to rock the tail down towards the ground. So giving this slight tilt in the pelvis and creating this little cavity in the low back. So bringing a little bit of a back bend into our reclined position today. So inhale, tailbone goes down. We stay for the inhale. And exhale, we scoop the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So we're giving this little rocking motion to the pelvis, just waking it up. So inhale, tailbone shoots down to the ground. We're firm through our shoulders. We stay for the inhale. Exhale, tailbone rocks up towards the ceiling. Inhale, tailbone down. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, tailbone rocks up. towards the ceiling or scoops up towards the ceiling, and we stay here for 2 breaths. And after your next exhale, we'll guide the knees back together by placing the hands on the outsides of the thighs. Knees are going to come up towards the chest. And we run our hands along the shins, along the fronts of the ankles, to grab the outsides of the feet. If that seems like an impossible task, you can always just grab the front of the shins, or this could even work on the hamstrings, right behind the knees. If you have a strap or the strap of a robe, maybe an exercise band, you can definitely use that as an extension of your arm. So we are here in this almost elevated Supta Baddha Konasana that we were just in. We stay for the inhale. And on the exhale, we're kicking soles of the feet up towards the sky, shining the hamstrings right up towards the ceiling. So ankles are right above the knees. Knees are slightly wider than hip width apart. If it feels good to take some gentle rocking motions, you definitely can. Otherwise, we will stay in stillness. And if this feels unstable, imagine sending your tailbone towards the front of the mat. That's going to start to root down the low back and the spine into the ground. Happy baby. We're rooting the shoulders down to the mat, breathing down into the belly. Belly is soft and heavy. Stay for one more breath cycle. You've got this. And exhale, we're going out, out the way that we came. So we bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet back together and gently guide the feet down to the ground. When you get there, left leg shoots out long. We're bringing the right knee and catching the shin of the right leg with the hands. We inhale, and on the exhale, we pull that right knee towards the right shoulder. We're firm in the left leg, so we're pressing out through the sole of the left foot. Knee is engaged on the left leg, we're pressing down through the heel. Stay here for the inhale, and exhale, we're crossing right leg over the midline, over to the left side of the mat for our recline twist. We're working a little bit backwards today than we have been doing. Breathe down into the belly. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, maybe in the neck, you can turn to look over at your right fingertips. If you need a little bit more of a stretch in the hamstrings, the IT band, the glutes, or the low back, you can straighten that right leg. We stay for the inhale. Exhale, we engage the belly, drawing belly button back to spine, which is what moves us through center. And we take it to the other side. So right leg shoots out long. Left leg comes up as we catch the shin with the fingers or with the hands. We inhale, and exhale, we pull that left knee towards the left shoulder. Firm through the right leg, pressing down through the heel. Feet are nice and active. We stay for the inhale. And exhale, we cross left leg over the midline to the right side of the mat. Shoulders stay pinned down to the ground. If that left shoulder is coming off the mat too much, back out of your twist just a little bit. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine as we drop back through center. Both legs lift, or right leg comes to meet the left. We bring our hands right to the hamstrings behind the knees. If you want to be a little playful and it feels good, you can give some pats to the back of the hamstrings, just waking up the legs before we start to work them. So you can always skip this next, again, playful movement. Otherwise, we will do this together, a little spinal massage, a spinal rocking, which all of the energy that we're starting to wake up in the roots needs help moving up through the rest of the body. So this is a great way to do it with some spinal massage. So we kick the heels up towards the ceiling, engaging the core, and we use that momentum to roll up to a seated position. When you get there, we're going right back down, right rounding through the spine, heels kick, and we rise back up. Let's do it one more time. Heels kick, and this time when you rise, we'll cross the ankles and come through onto all fours. If that doesn't feel good or you just don't want to do that, you can always come up to a seated position, swing the legs, and meet us together in all fours. So setting ourselves up for success, like always, wrists are right underneath the shoulders, knees are right underneath the hips. We're pressing down firmly through the tops of the feet, or toes can be curled under. We're pressing into the pads of the fingertips, doming out the chest cavity, belly button draws up to the spine to protect the low back. Gaze is straight down. So we're going to start with our traditional cat-cow. So we inhale, drop the belly, tail lifts, chest is open, gaze is forward. Exhale, we round through, pulling the tail towards the belly button. We drop the crown towards the earth and exaggerate the dome in the chest. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, we round through. We're going to add a new movement here. So we inhale, drop the belly. When we're in cow, we lift the heels to the hips. Exhale, drop the heels. We round through, pulling the tail to the belly button when you're in cat. And then we press into the tops of the feet and lift the knees. Okay, here we go. Cow, inhale, drop the belly, lift the feet. Exhale, drop the feet, round through, lift the knees. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the feet. Exhale, we round through, lift the knees. Go one more time. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the feet. Exhale, we round through, lifting the knees. Let's hold it for 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees. We come into tabletop. Big toes come together, knees open, wide as your yoga mat. As we sink the hips down, extended child's pose, and we start to melt the belly, chest, and forehead down to the mat. Really reach the fingers towards the front of the mat, getting that great stretch in the sides of the shoulders. We stay for the inhale, and on the exhale, hips stay nice and heavy as we walk the hands off the left side of the mat. And again, drop the forehead down to the earth. Waking up the intercostal muscles, creating more room for our breath. If you need a little bit more, you can always bring right hand on top of left hand. And exhale, we roll right through center, staying nice and low, taking it over to the other side. Stay for one more inhale. And exhale draws us back through center as we press into the tops of the feet and draw ourselves back up onto all fours. We square off the knees right underneath the hips again, just so we are moving with proper alignment. We curl the toes under, stay for the inhale, and exhale, hips draw up high for downward facing dog. When you get there, if you need to pedal it out, take a moment to do so. So ribs are soft, belly's pulled back to the spine. Hips are externally rotated up towards the ceiling. Elbow creases are shining towards each other or towards the front of the mat. Ears are right by the biceps. Shoulder blades are spread wide across the back. You can always bend your knees here if the low back is really tight or the hamstrings are tight. Let's stay for one more inhale. And on the exhale, we'll start to make our way to the top of the mat. So get there however you want to. If you want to crisscross walk, that's great. If you just want to take small steps up on the tiptoes, that's great. If hopping is in your practice, you can do that, or maybe just one big step. And when we get there, we'll meet in a forward fold. Coming back to the breath, if you've lost it. Maybe you clasp opposite elbow, gently sway side to side. Maybe you straighten one leg, bend the other. Letting the crown drop all the way to the ground. Maybe you shake your head, yes and no, waking up the neck, the cervical spine. We stay for the inhale. Exhale rises us up to mountain. Arms come with us up overhead. Palms descend at the heart space as we take a moment to let the blood settle. We're going to do our warm-up sun salutations. We're going to do them a little bit different than we have been previously doing. So I'll walk you through for one full round, maybe two, and then we'll play. So we inhale, arms go down to come up. On the exhale, we're bending the knees, bending from the hips, coming down into our forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale lifts you up halfway to our figure 7 shape, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, hands come down to the mat. We step the left foot back, right foot back. We're in plank, Balankhasana. We're skipping our upward facing dog. So we stay here for the inhale, exhale, hips are going up high. Left foot comes right to the midline of the back edge of the mat. We lift the right leg on the inhale, bend the right knee, right toes shoot over to the left side of the mat as we shine the pelvis towards the right. If this feels unstable for you, you can just stay in a 3-legged dog with the leg straight. Otherwise, we'll inhale, exhale, send us up to the top of the mat, bringing the right foot in between the hands. We're in low lunge. We breathe into this position, finding our stability, and exhale, we rise, high lunge, so arms come up, and then we settle. Right knee is over right ankle. Maybe you bring a slight back bend into your lunge. It's up to you. Inhale, and on the exhale, we pivot on the back foot, opening up to warrior two. So pelvis is right in line with the legs. We're firm through that back leg, so knee is engaged. We're pressing into the triangle, the inverted triangle in the foot, and the outer edge of the back foot. That's our foundation. Hands and wrists are in line with the shoulders. We inhale to shift the upper body forward slightly. Exhale, back hand drops to the back leg. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling or towards the back edge of the mat, whichever serves your practice better. We inhale, and on the exhale, we spiral, hands back down to frame the right foot, but we're not done yet. Right toes pivot to the left side of the mat, and we come into a half squat. So you've got two options here. You can either come all the way down into a full half squat, Skandasana, or we stay hips nice and high as we shift our weight then over to the left foot, and then back to the right leg. We pivot again, squaring off the toes to the front of the mat. We're back in low lunge. Hands frame the foot, and we move from the hip, from our center, drawing that right foot back to meet the left as we come back into downward facing dog. So this is a little bit of a longer warm-up sequence than we are used to. So if you forget some steps, that's okay. And as we flow, if you feel like you've gotten lost a little bit, I would just invite you to turn inward to your intuition, listen to your body, listen to what your body wants. It's usually probably right. So let's take it to the other side now. Right foot comes to the midline. We inhale, left leg lifts. We bend at the knee, drawing the left toes over towards the right. Pelvis shines over to the left. We're still firm in our arms and hands. Stay for the inhale. Exhale moves you, stepping left foot up in between the hands. Adjust as needed. Remember, you can always drop that back leg if that feels more stable. Inhale, exhale fuels our movement as we rise, arms come up, and we settle into high lunge. Inhale, exhale, we pivot on the back foot, opening up to warrior two. Heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot. Shoulder blades are pinching together and then melting down the back. We inhale to shift the upper body forward. Exhale, back arm drops. Left arm reaches up towards the sky or towards the back edge of the mat, peaceful warrior. Exhale, we windmill the arms down to frame the foot just so we can move through a more fluid transition. Left toes come to face the right edge of the mat as we find ourselves in a half squat. So our weight is in the left leg. Inhale, exhale, hips come up and over the midline as we shift the weight over to the right. Inhale, exhale, hips up and over as we shift to the left. And we pivot, squaring back off into our low lunge. Hands come to frame the foot. We draw the left foot back to meet the right. We're in downward facing dog for one breath. Exhale moves you back up to the top of the mat, and we roll up to mountain. Palms descend at the heart space. Excellent. Here we go. Let's do 2 more rounds. Move at your own pace. And I'll cue you along the way. Arms go down to come up on the inhale. Maybe you add in a back bend. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Move to your Phalangasana, your plank. Stay for the inhale, exhale. Hips are going up high. Left foot comes to the midline. Inhale, right leg lifts. We open the pelvis. Exhale, steps it up, low lunge. Exhale, lift, high lunge. Exhale, open, warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, pivot. And we transition, Skandasana, half squat. Right, left, right, and we pivot. Low lunge. Right comes back to meet the left. So we take it to the other side. Pelvis shines. Exhale, we step it up. Low lunge. Find your footing, your placement. Exhale, we rise. Exhale, open. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, pivot and transition, half squat. Weight is in the left leg. Exhale, up and over. So we come onto the right. And back. Low lunge. Left comes back to meet the right. We're in downward dog for one inhale. Exhale fuels your movement up to the top of the mat. And we roll up to mountain. Palms come together at the heart space. And we move again. So inhale, arms go down to come up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Meeting in plank. For the inhale, exhale moves you. And you move through the rest of the sequence. So, the root chakra physically is connected to many areas. So the legs, the groin, all the organs that are right in this area. So that would include some of the genitals and sex organs, the perineum, the legs, the hips. It runs along the same pathway as the nose, so it also includes the sense of smell. It can be connected to issues with sciatica, diabetes, digestive disorders, and the like. Weight issues, all of the hormonal glands, so the adrenal glands. Psychologically, it can be connected to weight issues, overeating, undereating, addictive behaviors, drugs, alcohol, overspending, things of that nature. When you're in downward dog, we're going to stay for 3 breaths at the end of your cycle anyway. Because the root is also connected to such primal instincts of survival, they're also connected to those really big, icky, uncomfortable emotions like anger, fear, and sadness. All right, after your next exhale, we're stepping it up to the top of the mat. We're heel toe, feet as wide as the mat until the toes spill off. You can use your hands as your guide, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can rise hands to heart and sink the pelvis down in between the heels. We're coming down into a squat. Remember, you can always bring something stable right underneath the pelvis, like a block or a book, pillow maybe. And you can always bring a blanket up underneath the heels just for a little bit more elevation. We shoot the tailbone down into the ground, reaching the heart space towards the thumbs. I know that this can sometimes be a challenging position to come into, but if you can lean in, at least in my experience and the experience of others that I've spoken with, going back to the root chakra being such a primal connection. We used to do so many things in this position. Some cultures and tribes still do many things in this position. And so you may start to feel a natural or innate pull, a comfortability in this spot. We're pressing the elbows into the knees, knees into the elbows, using this resistance to find stability. I know you're tired. We're here for 2 more breaths. So the root chakra is connected directly to the heart chakra for that very reason of the big icky emotions: fear, anger, sadness, jealousy. And the antidote to all of those is love, which is where the connection comes into the heart. Exhale, we're diving forward, hands drop to the mat, and gently we bring the knees back down to the mat. Let's do knees together, arches together, as we sink the hips back to a traditional Balasana, child's pose, melting the belly down to the thighs, forehead down to the mat. We shoot the hands back behind us in space. We stay for the inhale. Exhale, we press hands and tops of the feet into the mat to draw us back up. So all fours, we're using downward dog as a transition. So we curl our toes, stay for the inhale, exhale, we move hips up high. We're here for 1 breath. And exhale, we step up to the top of the mat. Stay nice and low while we set our feet up here. So we're going to bring the big toes to touch. So they are right next to each other. And then we're going to leave about a 2-finger width space between the arch and the heel. Okay. Gaze is straight down. We're going to move into chair. So we inhale, exhale, we're swinging arms out and up, and on the way, we're sinking the hips back in space, keeping the knees right above the ankles. As we tuck the pelvis, spine shoots down to the ground, belly's engaged, belly button's pulled back towards the spine. Biceps are by the ears. We're here for 1 more breath. And on your exhale, we're sending arms back behind us in space as we shift the weight onto the toes. So you may come here, or maybe you keep the heels on the ground and you just shift your weight forward. Or maybe you come up onto the ball joints of the toes, and maybe even you give a deep extension in the ankles, coming up onto the toes, drinking bird. Inhale, exhale, we drop the heels, drop the hips, arms swing up, we come back into chair. Again, inhale, exhale, arms swing back behind us, and we come up onto the toes. Stay for the inhale, exhale, heels drop, hips drop, arms up. And one more time, exhale, arms drop, we come up onto the toes. You got this. Come back to your breath. And exhale, heels drop and we fold into Uttanasana. Big inhale. Awesome. Hands drop down to the mat. We step the left foot back. Then the right foot. We're in plank. We stay for the inhale. Exhale, we shift forward on the toes and gently, with control, lower. See if you can take your full exhale to lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Elbows are tightened to the side body. Whew, when you get there, we're going to flip the toes so the tops of the feet are right against the mat. Feet are hip width apart, so we're not staying zipped up through the legs right now. Feet are hip width apart. Knees are engaged, which is activating the quads. We give a slight tilt to the pelvis so that we're bringing that root chakra right up to the mat. Gaze is straight down. Hands are right underneath the shoulders, right in line with the breastbone. So we're firm through our foundation. And we're going to go grow light in the heart space. So on our inhale, we feel the belly expand. And exhale, we press into the hands. You can stay here, coming into baby cobra, really pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. Or we inhale and exhale, press ourselves up into full cobra. Head is the last thing to rise. Shoulders are drawn away from the ears. Shoulder blades are pinched together. Exhale, we lower, belly, then chest, then head. Beautiful. Staying firm the whole time in your foundation. So pressing into the tops of the feet, knees stay engaged, pelvis stays tucked towards the earth. And again, we go. Inhale, exhale, cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale, cobra or baby cobra. Head is the last thing to rise on both. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, exhale. And fold. Awesome. Right hand is going to come out to a half T at your side. We pin the right shoulder, the front of the right shoulder down to the mat. Left hand is coming off the left side of the mat. We give a deep bend to the elbow. So a 90-degree angle in the elbow, and we come up onto the fingertips of the hand. Gaze can be either straight down or you can come onto that right ear. We press down firmly into the right foot. We lift the left leg, bend at the knee, inhale, and exhale. We press into the left fingertips and draw the left toes over towards the right. Maybe you stay here. Maybe this is enough for you. Or maybe we take the left toes all the way over to the right. As we're exaggerating this stretch in the front of the leg, activating the glutes, the hips. Front of the right shoulder stays pinned down as we give a nice stretch to the pectoral muscle. Exhale draws us back through center, and we take it to the other side. So left arm comes out long. We come up onto the fingers of the right hand, bending deep at the elbow. Press firmly down through the left foot. We lift the right, bend at the knee, inhale, and exhale moves you up and over. And we try to send that right knee up towards the ceiling. Exhale draws you back through center. We bring the left hand right underneath the forehead, other hand on top, and we use this as a cushion as we drop the forehead down onto the hands. We're going to take Shavasana or a few minutes of it in our prone position. So on our belly today, keeping our connection with the roots to the earth. So just before we go, your root chakra being out of balance, overactive or underactive, can show its face in many ways. So it may be from, or it may look like apathy, being passive, having a hard time setting boundaries or having too firm of boundaries. It can look like qualities of anger and jealousy, overspending, hoarding, addiction disorders. So it can look like many things. To bring it back into balance, we have to bring an awareness to the body and really give our attention to that area. I said it before and I'll say it again. Energy work works even if you don't work it. And so if you feel that you may be having some of those symptoms, doing a lot of the things that we did today, focusing on the root, can really help. Maybe practicing a root chakra meditation tonight would be great as well. Stay here for as long as you're able to today. Otherwise, this will conclude the end of our practice. As always, some hot tea tonight or hot moisture, so a hot shower, hot bath, hot towel on any sore muscles would be great. And I will see you all for our new schedule starting next week on Monday.